Grabby Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you this memory planner spread. And welcome to the February A Cherry on Top YouTube Hop, where this month we are sharing everyday life. And to me, everyday life doesn't get any more everyday than a memory planner, right? Because it's literally weeks of your life, days in weeks of your life. So I am working on week 3, and I am using the For the Record collection from Simple Stories. I have pre-printed all of my photos. I print everything 1.9 inches high, and whatever that ends up being width-wise is what it auto defaults to. I don't change the size. So here I am going to create a flip up. I'm using the 6x8 paper pad, and I'm going to literally just trim around the edges. I've got a slightly wider right and left margin in order to just have that pop of color. And then I'm using some stickers from the sticker book to create a flip up of the photo on the right hand side. Here I'm using an anti-static powder pouch. I believe it's from Ranger or Tim Holtz, to just get rid of the sticky. I don't have one of those little baby powder puffer things. I think they came from like EK Success. I don't remember. But I just use that, and that removes the adhesive very nicely so that I can make stickers non-tacky so that I can use them like this for flips. And then I'm just trying to get a variety of color from the collection throughout the spread. So what I'm going to show you here in today's video is just how I create some of the interactives, and how I create the foundation of the 2 pages. And then I will go in with journaling and stamping, which I am not going to do off camera because that is probably the most time-consuming and tedious process as I rifle through all of the things that I have. So here are the mini tags. Those of you who know me know that I am all about Simple Stories tags, and I love that you can get the mini version in the 6x8 sticker book. So I'm just creating an interactive with that there. I'm going to score that at the same height as my photos, which is 1.8 inches, and just use that beside the photo as a tip up. I ultimately don't put anything underneath it, but I like to give myself lots of room so that if I want to add more journaling, that is always an option for me. So just adding some twine and some adhesive there. What I like about the twine is when I create my following page, if I want to, I can remove the twine so that I can stamp and or write without having the lumpy bumpies underneath there. So that's going to be the foundation for the left-hand side of the page. I don't have a photo for Wednesday, and that's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that because some of the other days I have multiple photos. So what I'm trying to do here is create, so this is going to be a different kind of a tip out. So it is a multi-flip. It's going to open from both sides. I call it a bifold, but it's not actually folded. So I have one piece of paper that's going to be the foundation for this flip out. And then I'm going to use sticker paper, and I am going to just trim little hinge pieces and cut slits so that the hinge pieces go behind this piece here, and then anchor the photos to this single piece. So again, I don't really measure anything. I just really know that I don't want it to be any taller than 2 inches because those are the height of the boxes or the rectangles in this Heidi Swap memory planner. So that is not available from A Cherry on Top, but everything else is. So you can see I've written on the back of that sticker paper back because it's very difficult to tell the front and the back. So I always know which side I can work with. Again, I am not being very specific about my measurements because I generally am not. So I'm just cutting each of those 3 strips, although I only end up using 2, the height of my photos. And then I'm going to cut lines, again, not very specific, using my X-Acto blade and it should be 1.9. It actually ends up being 1.8 because I've trimmed down the photos. Knowing I want a 2-inch height, I have 1.8-inch high, more than likely, photos. And so I'm trimming a line at the left-hand side and the right-hand margins of this piece of pattern paper, because I'm going to have the left flip is going to be the photo of my husband and I, and the right flip is going to be that cityscape of Richmond on the right-hand side. So the sticky side is going to the back of that piece of pattern paper, and then the other sticky side is going to my photo. So you can see how that creates a hinge, and I'm just trimming off the edge there. So that's the left flip photo. And then I'm going to repeat the same procedure on the right-hand side with that long photo. So the left flip photo will go on top of the right flip photo. Blah, that's a tongue twister. So here's my other hinge. Again, it's just a simple process. I'm just folding it in half so that I know where the hinge is going to be. It is tricky getting the backing off of this, and so I highly recommend tweezers and some other. I could have used my X-Acto blade too. And just tucking that other sticky side to the back of this and then trimming that down. So you can see there how I have a bifold that's not really a bifold in the true sense of the word, but two folds and flips of the photo. And then I'm going to just stick this other photo on the back side. And in real life, I am have not yet done this, but I will actually put sticker paper on that floral there, and or maybe a label, so that I can put additional journaling, pardon me, and then adhere that to the book. Whenever you have double-sided adhesive, make sure that you brayer the adhesive down for a firm. I mean, these books get a lot of wear and tear, and you want to make sure that that the adhesive is a strong tack. So make sure that you brayer that down. I did add a third piece at the bottom in case I wanted that to be a pocket. Again, I always give myself the option of additional journaling space should I decide that I need that. So I have these rub-ons that come with this for the record collection. I absolutely love these. I think I have ordered additional of this in the and ordered the elements that I ordered because I'm going to use this for my Spain travel album coming up, and I'm sure you will see pages of that as I create in pockets in a 6x8 travel album for that. So I line up my photos. I try and line them up so that neighboring days align. So you can see on the left-hand side, I have the right-hand border lined up with the middle of those two photos. And then on this page, those two photos, I've got the center lined up with the left-hand border of the photo of my husband and I. So just to create a bit of a visual continuity as you go down the page there. I do try and keep the bulky elements away from the inside of the pages because that's where you can bust the stitching, and I don't want to bust the binding of that. And if you put too much bulk there, it definitely stresses that binding there. So I try and stay more to the middle and outer edges of these pages when working in my memory planner. So here I'm keeping the two tags, again, from the 6x8 paper pad intact. They're side by side. It gives me the option of folding them or just anchoring one, kind of like I did with those photos on the left-hand side. And then just one is a tip up. Again, creating more room. When you have interactive elements, it allows you to have more room, more real estate is what I like to say. And so I always like having those options. And if I don't use them, that's perfectly fine. It's a surprise element potentially for somebody who's flipping through these albums. So just anchoring down the right-hand side, I will off camera put in twine into one of the two of these. I don't have the album in front of me, so I'm not sure, but I know I do stick twine into it. It just makes, sometimes having that twine, it's texture, but also it lets you know that it's a flip or a flap to open, because I don't like using the open here and the open now. Sometimes I just like that element of surprise. So that has a photo of Luna, one of our two cats, on the right-hand side. I don't put them in every week because they don't go on adventures like we do, but she has not been around very much, and so it's been nice to see her. I do have the sticker sheet as well as the rub-ons, and I will use some of the stickers, but the thing with the stickers is that they are cardboard. Well, they're not cardboard, but they're thicker, and I try and use the thinner elements like the rub-ons. And what I like about the 6x8 paper pad for this too is that it is also a thinner cardstock. It's not, I can't even say it's cardstock. It's really more paper, which is more suitable for a memory planner. You see those stamps on the right-hand side. I am actually going to use those, but again, I am going to do that off camera. I'm going to apologize because stamping is just such a tedious process for me in matching the colors. So what I was showing you before is that I have washi across these headers. These are the older albums, and I want to repeat that throughout my memory planner, and so I'm using one of the sticker sheets. I am going to tell you off camera, I'm going to pull that off. It's too dark. I want something lighter in there, and I'm going to use another Simple Stories washi that's a little bit bolder, thicker, I should say, or taller, and just covers that gray up a little bit. Let's see. So rubbing in one of the rub-ons, and I'm trying to get a good use of the color throughout all of the pieces of pattern paper and or tags that I'm using. I will also add more color via the stamping that I do. One of the other things that I am trying to do consistently this year, I always have something that I try and tie all of my pages together with. So I am using that week of up there, and it's always going to have the month and then the days. And then I like the week of, just for consistency. So I will also, I'm using some LA Studio Not Available at a Cherry on Top stickers, week of, and it will say the number. And so I am going to do that as well. So I have these word phrases, and I like to just use the word phrases because they sort of punctuate, they provide emotion to the photos a little bit. A lot of the titling, quote unquote, of these photos, I will do with my stamping and or letter stickers. And so, yeah. Most of the time with the days, so you can see I use those little push pins, those locator pins, on each of the days. I only had 5 stickers, so I have to find 2 other versions. I don't generally put things there other than the date, but I really liked the way that this provided some additional color and almost some grounding color to the page. So the sticker sheet phrases there are one long strip of phrases, so I've cut them up and am interspersing those into my pages. And I'm not worried about those locator pins because I know that that exists throughout the collection. I also know that I have a stamp available to me, but here are some rub-ons. And so I'm going to just rearrange the ones that I do have so that I get a nice disbursement of color. And I believe there's only one repetition, and that's that blue, but there may actually be 2 different blues in there. Again, I'm looking at a really small screen as I am voicing this over, so I'm not sure off the top of my head. Maybe it's that peach color. So again, this is one of those thinner paper stickers from the sticker book, and this is the element that is not available from a Cherry on Top, but it's one of the things that I consistently want to do throughout the year is that week of down in the notes section there. So that, my friends, is going to wrap up what I have to share with you. Again, this is a hop, so be sure to leave a comment for a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Cherry on Top, and check out the description box for the other everyday life elements that the other gals have to share with you. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.